Yo, what is up YouTube? James Baek here. Welcome back to another episode of VGC 2019 Back Battles. Today we are using a brand new team, and this team, it's not mine this time. We're actually using a team that won a Japanese tournament. Scar actually won a Japanese tournament using this team, and yeah, it's been pretty popular so far. We saw Paul use it, I think, a few days ago, and I know he's been using that team for a while now, so kind of interested just to try it out. But yes, and I also don't have really much time to build my own team, so I happen to have all the mons, luckily, because I was testing with a lot of this stuff prior to Dallas Regionals. But let's get started and play some games. So I have my own opinions about Xerndon's Groudon. It's definitely, I love Xerndon's Groudon back in 2016. It was probably one of my favorite things to play just because, like, it was really hard to stop. But of course, regular Groudon is way different from Primal Groudon, and I did like Xerndon's Groudon in the beginning of the format, but I don't really like it too much anymore just because, like, I feel like the Precipice Blades is just so unrewarding now. I like the Banded Precipice Blades early on, or the Life Orb Precipice Blades Groudon, which was pretty common in the beginning of the Sun Series format, but man, it just, I got frustrated because Precipice Blades kept missing. It's not like I had Bronzong, which was like common, which set up Gravity. So it was like really difficult to use Groudon it because it felt so unrewarding at times, especially switching to Kyogre was exactly that great here. Speaking of Kyogre, we got a Kyogre here with the Toxicroak, Incineroar, Xerneas, Amoonguss, and Tornadus. Okay, so I could lead a few things here. I'm liking my Tapu Koko since it is Assault Vest and it's pretty good against a Tornadus Kyogre, especially if it's Rain Dance. So I think I want to go Tapu Koko plus a Xerneas, which wouldn't be too bad. Yeah, I think Tapu Koko Xerneas is fine here. I like the Amoonguss in the back because Amoonguss is pretty good against my opponent's team because it can redirect and do a good amount of damage. And I really like the Groudon in the back because, you know, obviously the weather deals with the Toxicroak, the Incineroar. Yeah, so let's go with these four. I think it's my most solid option. At turn 1, I'm probably just going to, if my opponent does lead the Tornadus Kyogre, I'm 100% just going to protect Electro Web because I'm not risking a Rain Dance, which is very common on Kyogre Tornadus team nowadays because Groudon grew so much more popular in recent parts of the format. So let us see how this is going to go. Also, I do apologize if my voice sounds a bit different. I am currently a little bit sick, as we're going to see the Tapu Koko plus Xerneas here against the Xerneas Amoonguss, actually. So, So we have electric terrain up. The Amoonguss was definitely not within my expectation range, so that's a little bit unfortunate. As we're probably going to see, I would imagine, a Spore here. I mean, not Spore, Clear Smog, just to prevent my Xerneas from attacking. So I could go for a few things. I could go for Nature's Madness into the Xerneas, which wouldn't be a bad option. And I kind of like the Nature's Madness and a switch into Amoonguss because basically I try to deny the Xerneas setup. I weaken the Xerneas as well for a Dazzling Gleam in the future, or Precipice Blades even. So I think this works out beautifully. I don't have the best ways to deal with Amoonguss though on my opponent's side, which is kind of frustrating. We're actually going to see the Xerneas protect here. Okay, maybe just trying to scout out for a Z move on my Tapu Koko just in case I went for a turn 1, as we're going to see a Clear Smog, which is fine here, into my Amoonguss. So unfortunately, I'm not able to get the Clear Smog in when the Xerneas goes for Geomancy, but I think that's alright here. I'm going to try to weaken the Amoonguss for Nature's Madness, and do I just Nature's Madness Clear Smog the Xerneas? Because, like, no matter what I catch with the Nature's Madness, it's kind of beneficial to me either way. And Amoonguss could always switch out, which is the frustrating part, so I think just Nature's Madness into the Xerneas is fine. And a Clear Smog, because just in case Xerneas tries to set up, which it really shouldn't in this position, it probably should just fire for Moonblast. But either way, I think this is beneficial here, as we will go for the Nature's Madness, do a decent amount of damage, as Dazzling Gleam is going to come out, which is acceptable. And let's see what the Amoonguss goes for, as we will get a Clear Smog off into the Xerneas, which will do a decent amount. Yep, damage, and a Clear Smog going to come out from the Amoonguss in the Tapu Koko. Yeah, that's fine. I'm a little bit worried about a Kyogre potentially in the back. But I think we're still good here because I can go for a Electro Web, which should be able to knock out the Xerneas at that range, and might as well switch out the Amoonguss into the Xerneas right here. Because just Amoonguss isn't going to do much, I feel like. And I'd rather reposition Amoonguss. Yeah, let's just go hard Xerneas. Because I don't expect to clear Smog into the Amoonguss slot unless you just want to weaken my Tapu Koko for that Water Spout. So we'll go hard Xerneas. We get to keep the Regenerator, and Electro Web should finish off, I would assume, the Xerneas. Or it's going to protect, yeah, like something I imagined, like something was going to happen there. We will go for the Electro Web into these slots. Yeah, which is fine here. And that pretty much allows me to make sure my opponent doesn't Rage Powder here, because I don't think my opponent's going to Rage Powder in the next position, as we're going to see another Clear Smog into the Tapu Koko, which is fine. And since Tapu Koko's super weakened at this point, and I really don't expect the Amoonguss to Rage Powder here, because like you already saw the Electro Web, I'm just going to Volt Switch to Xerneas just to guarantee it, and I think I'm just going to throw off a... I can protect here. I don't really need the health on Xerneas as much right now, so I think I'm just going to fire off a Moonblast here into the Xerneas slot in case it wants to switch out. As we are able to get a Volt Switch off, just knock out the Xerneas, which is perfect because of the fact that now I can get my Amoonguss in, and my opponent doesn't exactly have the best switch-ins, except maybe the Tornadus could come out, I guess. But I think that'd be fine. I could also see if like Incineroar's in the back here, which I think is fine too. Electric Train's also going to disappear soon, so I could Spore potentially. So we will get a Moonblast off into the Amoonguss, get a decent amount, as we're going to see a Clear Smog into the Xerneas. Yep. You never want me to set up Geomancy, because Geomancy would probably just lose you the game. As that Clear Smog actually does a lot less than I thought. That did a lot less than I thought, actually, yeah. We're going to see the Incineroar come out, no surprise there. Electric Train's still actually on the field. So I want to keep Amoonguss around because you want to assume the last Pokemon's Kyogre, right? So if I can get rid of the... Although I do live one Flare Blitz as long as it's not Adamant Incineroar. Maybe I want to just go for attacks here. I really don't want Amoonguss to get too low though, and I definitely don't want to go Groudon on this. I could go Groudon on this position. And just then fire off Precipice Blades. I don't think that would be the worst option. That's what I'm thinking. Because I want to keep Amoonguss healthy. Groudon's not exactly the most important Pokemon out there. Yeah, I'm going to go for the Moonblast into Amoonguss and actually just hard switch into Groudon. This kind of works out bad for me, I guess, if you go for a... let's say, a Flare Blitz double up in the Xerneas, although I really don't think that's very likely here. We'll go Groudon here, and as long as we don't get... Oh, we see a Fake Out, actually. What? Into the Groudon. I guess trying to get chip damage, which perfectly works out for me. I'm going to be able to get a Moonblast off into the Amoonguss slot, which does a good amount to a critical hit, which... doesn't really matter to me, because I'm still going for Dazzling Gleam Precipice Blades, and I still think that would knock out the Amoonguss. It's Citrus Berry Amoonguss, as we see a Clear Smog into the Amoonguss slot. I guess maybe not respecting the Xerneas, but I think that works out fine for me. Electric Terrain disappears on the battlefield, and now I get to click Precipice Blades and Dazzling Gleam. I pretty much get a knockout on everything I think on my opponent's team. Maybe not the Kyogre, but I'll put it super low so it can't click Water Spout. So we're going to see the Incineroar switch out into the Kyogre, which makes sense. And as long as I hit my attack on specifically the Amoonguss, I should be fine because I trapped the Kyogre in. I think, because I'm pretty sure Precipice Blades and the Gleam should finish off the Amoonguss at this point. And I want to Gleam just in case the Incineroar decide to come in. So we'll go for Precipice Blades here. It does connect with both Pokemon, which is fortunate. So should be doing a lot here. It does knock out the Amoonguss. Oh, with a critical hit. Don't know if that mattered, but I don't think it does. Because most Amoonguss do run specially defensive. But then again, that really wasn't that bulky of an Amoonguss. It took a lot for the Moonblast. But it works out. Even if Amoonguss survives somehow, like my opponent's team was super low. Origin Pulse wasn't knockout Xerneas. He probably had to go for Spore and a Groudon, and I could always just sack my Tapu Koko at that point in the game. So I felt like I was good regardless. And now I could just sack Tapu Koko now and go for a Protect here. And then next turn I could probably just Geomancy Precipice Blades. Or I could Gleam Precipice Blades, technically. I guess Gleam plus Precipice Blade isn't a bad idea just in case I double miss Precipice Blades. Because I do want to knock out the Kyogre. That's one less Pokemon I have to deal with for my team. So, yeah, I think we're fine still. As we will protect our Xerneas, we're going to see the Fake Out. And, of course, if it's like a random Psych-Up Kyogre, I guess. That's always a thing. Origin Pulse going to come out. And does connect with my Tapu Koko, which is fine. We are going to be able to get our Groudon in. And now we get to go for a Precipice Blades Dazzling Gleam here. Yeah, thankfully, I guess if it was Z-Psych-Up Kyogre, this game got a bit interesting. I just had to hit Precipice Blades on the Incineroar, though, I felt like, in order to win this game. Because if I get rid of Incineroar, Moongus just wins in the back. So, yeah, we'll go for Gleam here. We'll go for Precipice Blades, and that should be the game. We don't risk my opponent going for a Z-Psych-Up, I guess. So we'll Gleam Precipice Blades. As it is Scarf Kyogre on this team, goes for the Origin Pulse. The double crit won't even knock me out, so that's one beneficial. And pretty much I have this game sealed up because as long as I just hit Precipice Blades, as I mentioned before, I have room to miss one, I believe. So we will get a Gleam out, does knock out the Kyogre. We will get a Precipice Blades off into the Incineroar. And that should be able to pick up the knockout at that range. Yes, it does. And that's going to be a good game. So I think if I miss Precipice Blades there, Flare Blitz into the Xerneas. If it knocks out, then it's a Moongus. Then I have to go for 2 more Precipice Blades. And as long as I hit 1 out of those 2, I should be able to win the game. But basically, I just had to hit 1 out of 3 Precipice Blades. But of course, it's not exactly the most accurate move in the world. So yeah, but we are able to pick up a win, which is really nice. I think just saving the Groudon in the end game, our lead ended up working. Even though we didn't have best ways to deal with Amoonguss, we were just able to kind of overpower it while it wasn't able to do much, especially Spore in the electric terrain. So yeah, it ended up working. It's kind of, I guess that's why I had a nagging feeling. It's like when I finished picking my mons, I'm like, James, why didn't you pick Volcorona again? Because like I was thinking about Volcorona, but I think Amoonguss was just more useful against the Kyogre potentially. As we got Yan from Japan, 60-63 rating, as our next opponent with a Sunflora. I know it gets solar power, but isn't it base speed 40 or 30? I guess that's why you're in Trick Room with it. With Lunala, Groudon, Sunflora, Stack Attack, and Incineroar, Tapu Fini. Ooh, I really hope we see that Sunflora. That'd be fun. I could probably win with Swords Dance Groudon, like if I can Swords Dance a bunch. Yeah. I also kind of overpower everything with the Volcorona. I might want to lead 2 things, Volcorona plus Groudon. I could also see my, yeah, I think Volcorona Groudon's actually pretty good. Yeah, I like Volcorona Groudon actually. I could Whirlwind the Trick Room user. As long as it's not Psych Attack, but then I just Fire MZ. Yeah, we'll go with Moongus and Incineroar in the back, and I feel like we're actually in a pretty good position. We'll see what my opponent decides to bring, but yeah, I feel like my team has a decent matchup here, especially my opponent's kind of weak to my own Groudon, along with Incineroar, along with Amoonguss. Maybe not so much Amoonguss, but like my opponent can't really do much to it other than like Incineroar or Groudon on my opponent's side. And Volcorona is just such a powerful Pokemon against my opponent's team. As we're gonna see the Incineroar Lunala lead. I want to just go for a Whirlwind and a Swords Dance right away. Yeah, I'm definitely gonna go for a Whirlwind and a Swords Dance right away. I just don't see a reason not to, because either I deny the Trick Room, or I get a Swords Dance up, which all are beneficial to me. And even if, let's say, it's an attack here, Moongeist Beam won't knock out my Groudon. I don't mind Volcorona going down. Yeah. So we'll go for Swords Dance here in Whirlwind. Let's see what my opponent decides to do. It could also be a Flare Blitz. Oh, it could also be a Flare Blitz and a Volcorona, I guess. That probably actually knocks it out now that I think about it. Maybe going hard Incineroar was the better play here, but I can't tell if you're faking out the Groudon or you're faking out the Volcorona here. As we are just going to see a standard fake out play. It's going to go out into the Volcorona, so probably trying to deny that Whirlwind, as we will get a Swords Dance up with our Groudon here. Which is fine, and then a Trick Room? Yeah. Okay, that's fine. If I can stall out this Trick Room and just break the Shadow Shell Lunala, I should still have this game sealed up. So what I'm going to do is just switch on an Incineroar because it's just such a safe play here. I also get Fake Out pressure. And then I just protect the Groudon. The next turn I could like Snarl or Fake Out if I want to. Just depends on what Incineroar does here. I could see Flare Blitz into Z Moongeist Beam into the Groudon, or I could see a Flare Blitz into Volcorona, or I could see a U-turn into Volcorona slot. I think those are the plays he would go for here. As we'll get an Incineroar here. We'll get the Intimidate off, which is really good here for my Groudon because like Incineroar does a decent amount. And we'll protect our Groudon. I also wonder if this is Minspeed Lunala because that also might be a pain to deal with. We are going to see a Flare Blitz straight into the Groudon slot and probably the Z move, I imagine. No, it's just a straight Moongeist Beam into the Groudon, so that works out fine for me. I don't want to risk it being Minspeed Lunala, so I think I just want to go for Precipice Blades and Fake Out. There's one thing I am very curious about though, and that's if the Lunala carries Wide Guard. If it's Trick Room Wide Guard. Cause like you're so weak to Groudon, I feel like you might have it. I mean, I'm just gonna scout for it by just going for Precipice Blades anyway, cause like I don't lose much if you Wide Guard here and do something, but we do get a Fake Out off into the Incineroar, and yeah, it's Wide Guard, okay. Makes this a bit harder, but it's still not too bad as we do. Basically, we just waste a turn. I guess I could Swords Dance, but I didn't want a Lunala to get a Moongeist Beam off and damage my Groudon here. So, I guess the question is, do you go for it again? I kind of want to just U-turn out this time the Lunala. Because, again, my opponent kind of wasted his Trick Room turns. We only have 2 more to deal with, so I think I could just go for a Protect here and U-turn out the Lunala. Who might go for a aggressive Flare Blitz Moongeist Beam play into my Groudon slot. A Z Moongeist Beam play. I could have got Snarl off. Looks like my Incineroar is slower than the Lunala though, which is good. So we will retreat our Incineroar here. We'll go out into our... I guess Volcorona is fine. I could go a Moongus too. Because I could just Spore something. But Feeny would get a free invite. Would that be so bad though? I think I'm going to reveal a Moongus actually. Because I really don't think it would Flare Blitz the Incineroar. Maybe if we predict a U-turn, but I think I'd be fine regardless. Because then I'd get a free switch into my Incineroar again. We're going to see the U-turn come out. It does target down the Amoonguss, which is fine for me, I think. Because now we're going to see what my opponent's going to bring out. And again, the Lunala is on its last turn here as we're going to see the... What are we going to see as the last Pokemon? I imagine as the third Pokemon. Probably Groudon comes in. Or Sakataka, which is fine too. As Moongeist Beam is going to come out into the Groudon slot, which is fine. As long as I get a Spore off, I think I'm pretty good. So I think I'm actually going to Spore the Lunala and go for a Swords Dance here. Because I just don't see a drawback to this play. Sakataka doesn't do anything in this position. It can Gyro Ball, it could go for Rock Slide, but it's not really going to do that much against me. I get a Spore off into Lunala as long as it's not Safety Goggles. And if it's not if it's Safety Goggles, like, it's a lot easier to deal with it as I'll live attacks from the Lunala. So yeah, I don't see a reason not to just Spore here in Swords Dance. I guess if the Lunala has Protect and there's an instant switch, I mean, that's kind of fine because my opponent hasn't really obtained much with the Trick Room here. Basically wasted turns and you lost your Shadow Shell Lunala, which is huge. Rock Slide gonna come out, maybe trying to go for a flinch here. I hope you don't get it on at least the Amoonguss. Alright, not the worst, but that's actually really dang annoying. Moongeist Beam gonna come out into the Groudon. Oh, come on. This game's so frustrating at times. I guess we'll go for a Precipice Blades and a Spore here. Yeah, we'll go for Precipice. That's so annoying though. One of those two would have been great for me because now I would have had a +3 Precipice Blades. I'm pretty sure I would have been able to knock out the Lunala. So my opponent would have been forced to Wide Guard, which means I would be able to just go for the Spore. Now Sakataka has the option to Protect here and the Lunala just to attack here. And if that is the case, that's really bad for me because I don't think +1 Precipice Blades is going to be enough to deal with this Lunala, even if we broke that Shadow Shield. So that's super frustrating. I literally just need one attack here. We're going to see the Sakataka actually retreat here into the Incineroar. I wonder if that's a Wide Guard play on my opponent's side. or if it's just gonna be an attack here or maybe a Z move. But like, I'm not really happy about how this turns have been going. Obviously, Precipice Blades will come out at least, so we will be able to hopefully knock out the Incineroar as we do. Since it is neutral Precipice Blades, oh, we crit the Incineroar, but I don't care at that point. Like, you double flinched me. Moongeist Beam gonna come out. Oh, not the Z move. I should live this and then get my berry back. So this might work out a lot better. Oh, it's in that Moongeist. Doesn't even KO, and I get a Spore off. Okay. I really don't get that play, but that works out beautifully for me. Yeah. Alright, we get to spam Precipice Blades now. But I don't think we knock out the stack attack. I mean, we're fine as long as we deny Trick Room over and over again. We're going to see the Groudon come out and probably has to go for Precipice Blades here. Probably a slow Groudon too, since you want to assume this is probably a full-on Trick Room team. So I probably get one more Precipice Blades into Lunala into a Fire Punch. So I'm going to go hard in Incineroar because the Amoonguss still has use, just in case like Trick Room is set up again, because I kind of need to deny it, and I'll go for a Precipice Blades. Also, I get the Intimidate off into Groudon, which means my own Groudon should live a Precipice Blades guaranteed from my opponent. I think I would live even a Banded Precipice Blades, so yeah. And I don't really mind if Incineroar goes down. If it survives, I get a free Fake Out. If it doesn't, like, it really doesn't matter to me. And I am going to go for Precipice Blades here because, one, chip damage on Groudon is always useful, especially if it's an Assault Vest Groudon for some reason, so I can go for the Z Overheat or just regular Overheat in a Groudon. And two, it's I'm not sure if 2 Fire Punches would knock out the Lunala, because if it did, I might go for it, but I'm not exactly too sure here. We'll get Incineroar in. We'll get the Intimidate off into the Groudon and the Lunala, but the Lunala doesn't matter. We need to hit the Lunala specifically. Okay, that's oh, come on. Oh, it's Groundium, okay. So frustrating. This game has been super frustrating. Okay. Tonic Rage 2. I don't think I'm living this. Yeah, it's in a Groudon. It's not the end of the world, but man, this is super annoying. I'm gonna have to hope that Lunala stays asleep here. I'm gonna have to hope Lunala stays asleep. And I need to get a Sun Booster Flare Blitz off because I don't think, yeah, I think I have to. I have to hope either Lunala A doesn't wake up, which I think is probably my best option here. Snarl, I know it's 4 times effective, but I think it's only going to be like, what, a base power of... I don't think it's going to be that high, especially off Incineroar's base attack set. I think Flare Blitz and the Sun would do more damage. And I'm just going to go for a Z Overheat into the Groudon here. I need to get rid of the Groudon, which is definitely helpful for me, as Groudon's got Protect, which is fine too, because as long as the Groudon's not attacking, I think we're still good. So we'll go for the Z Fire here. I know, based on how this game is going to go, it's going to be the Lunala is going to wake up, get Trickerman, this game's going to be over for me. Because I could feel it in my bones. We will get a Z in front of Overdrive off, which will put the Groudon in range of Overheat. This is going to do a lot though. Especially since it's Groundium, I don't think it's like especially defensive. Oh yeah, that did a good amount. As we will get a Flare Blitz off. If this doesn't KO, I need to hope Lunala stays asleep for one more turn. But it does KO with a critical hit, which I don't know if it mattered, but we will take it as we do knock out that Pokemon. And I guess this game still is complicated. We're going to see the Stack Attacker come out, and I had to deny Triggering by all means. I think I have to double in the Stack Attacker. I also got to hope I live a Precipice Blades at -1 at this range, which I should, I think. Since it's not a boosted item. Or I could overheat the Groudon and just U-turn out. No, that doesn't work if you Rock Slide. No, I have to target down the Stack Attacker. I think I do have to target down the Stack Attacker because the reason is I can't let it get Rock Slide. I would lose the game if it Rock Slides. I was hoping I could get a Mungus in for Regenerator, but... I really have no words for how this game went. Okay, it's not over if you miss a rock slide onto Volcorona, but man, or I got a burn, but nope. This is why I don't use Xerndon anymore. This is literally why, because all the moves are so inaccurate. Okay, Volcorona goes down. Now I lose the game. Sure, my opponent missed a Precipice Blades. Big deal. It wasn't a game-winning Precipice Blades anyway. You know what was game-winning? An Overheat and a Flare Blitz into the stack Attacka, because I'm pretty sure that would just obliterated it. Hope for a Rock Slide miss and hope that Fire Punch doesn't knock out my Moongus. That's my out. Yeah. Well, grass not the Groudon and just go for a Flare Blitz. Precipice Blades. This might even just put me in Gyro Ball range. Yeah, it puts me in Gyro Ball range. That's so frustrating. Okay. If you miss Rock Slide, you're not Goggles. I Spore. That's my only out. Alright, we knock out the Groudon with Grass Knot. And we see a Rock Slide. And my opponent, of course, connects. So. Literally everything that could go wrong went wrong in that game. Everything. Everything. Gotta love Pokemon. That's the reason why I don't really like Xerndon anymore. It's because I feel like I don't get rewarded by clicking Precipice Blades, especially in tournament. It's the like I used this team at an MSS once, and I was considering Xerndon for Sun Series, Latin America, like the internationals. But the reason I didn't bring it is because I was so dang sick of not getting rewarded for Precipice Blades, and the fact that like the move I'm gonna click the most, it was like I had to pray that I hit every single time, which is why, because like when you're using Xerndon, you're usually using Venusaur with Sleep Powder, you're using Precipice Blades already, and then you're probably using another form of inaccurate move. In this case, I'm using Overheat, which is 90%. It's not even that bad, and of course we missed the first Overheat we go for. But yeah, I don't think it was like the worst played, because as I said before, I think my game plan was fine. It was whether did I have the skill to hit my attacks, and it didn't. But hope everyone enjoyed today's episode of VGC 2019 Back to Battles. It's kind of the drawback of using this team. It has some power, but like doesn't have the accuracy, reliability. But hope everyone enjoyed. If you do want to check out this team, I do have the placement of it in the description down below, as well as you can check out the rest of my stuff down below in the description, such as my social media, like my Twitch, Twitter, and Instagram accounts. You can check out my other stuff, like my side series, and if you want to go that extra mile to support me in the channel, there is my Patreon page link down below. But if you do want to just help out this video, and you can in many ways by leaving a like on the video, leaving a comment down below, and sharing this video with your friends. Otherwise, that's pretty much it. Have a great day, people. Until we battle again, I'll catch y'all later.